What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you've been following anything regarding Call of Duty 2023, you already know the state that game is basically in. Treyarch is going to be postponed until 2024, and if leaks and rumors are going to be true, Sledgehammer Games is going to be putting together a game for 2023. But the problem with that is the game was originally DLC and is turning into a full-fledged out project. Now, a lot of people, and I mean a lot of people, have been coming at me, and a lot of others as well, saying that this isn't going to be a problem whatsoever. The game is still going to turn out fantastic, phenomenal. There's going to be absolutely no issues at all. Of course, I've had my 2 cents to share about the overall topic. But just recently, a very, very, very popular leaker came out on Twitter and put out a tweet that is very interesting, in my personal opinion, and instantly deleted it right afterwards. Of course, a few people were able to catch a glimpse. One of the homies over on my stream, Foe, actually was able to see this a little bit ahead of time as well to let me know about this information. But I think a lot of people are starting to finally notice it and are seeing it on Twitter. It's starting to blow up a bit. But man, like I said, it just further proves to me personally that this game is not going to be going in a very good direction. But, of course, ladies and gentlemen, before we go ahead and hop into the topic of today's video, if you do enjoy what you hear today and you want to hear some more information about Call of Duty Battlefield X-Defined, don't forget to go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification button. We are grinding extraordinarily fast right now, and we are going to be reaching the 50K mark very shortly. So, of course, each and every one of you guys who support the channel, it means the world to me. And last but not least, we will be streaming again over on Kick today, so if you guys want to check that out, some different content besides the usual videos you see on this channel, then by all means, you can find the link to my Kick channel down in the description of this video as well. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see right here over on Twitter, Ralph's Valve, a very good leaker, put out this tweet saying Modern Warfare 3 is in a bad spot. Now, it's very bare bone, very bare minimum. Obviously, you can make whatever you want out of this post overall. But at the end of the day, I think it just says a lot for the overall situation, especially if you know what's been going on behind the scenes and you've been keeping yourself up to date with the Call of Duty, leaks and all this good stuff that are going on. Like I said, the game probably won't be horrifying. It's Call of Duty at the end of the day. When he's referring to it as being in a bad spot, he's not necessarily saying, graphically horrible, animations horrible, gameplay horrible. No, I think he's talking about the passion, the love, the time, how the developer's mental health is going on right now through crunch time, all that stuff. I think that's what he's associating it with, because obviously it's Call of Duty. It's being published by Activision. They have millions and millions and millions and millions, I can go on, trust me, I can go on, of dollars to spend on every single Call of Duty game every single year. So clearly, it doesn't matter if they have 1 month to put together a game. They could just simply take whatever they have from the past, plop it into a game and try to make it, something that's playable, and they could still probably sell it, and that's exactly what's going to be happening again. It's the Vanguard treatment, and it's sad that Sledgehammer Games has to be put into the spot all the time. I mean, they're not really my favorite development team, to be completely honest with you guys, but at the end of the day, it's a very crappy situation to, only be allowed to make games that are completely half-assed. And obviously, Vanguard, a lot of people actually, surprisingly, really enjoy that game, and so be it. I'm not going to hate you for enjoying Vanguard, but in my eyes, it will always be just such a lackluster project, and it's the proof of what Activision is capable of doing with a Call of Duty game. Like I said, they have the money to make sure a game looks really clean, very polished, very, nice. But when it comes down to the fundamentals, the passion behind the project, it's non-existent with a lot of these games nowadays, especially when it comes to Sledgehammer Games having to come in and, make these placeholder games. It's not going to be nice. Vanguard, to me, was literally Modern Warfare 2019 reskinned with a World War II theme. They made slight changes. They made, a few differences here and there. But as always, it's a reason why that game was allowed to have so much content. It was a reason why that game had so much stuff to do at launch, because they had the time to go ahead and put forth that effort. They didn't have to go down to the drawing board and make something, with tons of passion, tons of love. They didn't have to, reinvent things and try to make Call of Duty unique and the 6v6 experience. They didn't have to do any of that stuff. All they had to do was put out a project that could sell for $60, $70 minimum, and then just, add a ton of content into it to convince people to hop back into the Call of Duty cycle. And then you look at Modern Warfare 2 afterwards, right? No content. You would think they would want to live up to those expectations, right? You set the standards with Vanguard at, 16 maps at launch, right? It was a lot. how can you set that standard and then backpedal to basically Modern Warfare 2019 and Black Ops Cold War standards type of content, right? Because Sledgehammer Games had more time to put together that content compared to the other teams who have to do a little bit extra. Again, Sledgehammer has been making placeholder games, and that's exactly what Modern Warfare 3 is going to be. Vanguard ran up that road, and guess where Modern Warfare 3 is going to be running? Right up that road as well. I do not expect anything different than Modern Warfare 2 with the changes that the community have asked to be done to this game. Which, at the end of the day, I guess isn't a bad thing. That's not a bad thing at all. We always say time and time and time again that these modern Call of Duty games, they look good, they look fancy, they're cool to play, but they ignore the community in so many important spots that it just doesn't feel like COD anymore. So obviously, yes, it's going to feel fantastic to have a development team potentially listen to, our concerns, but I just can't help but feel like it's going to give me the same vibes that Vanguard gave me. A game that, yes, they listened. Yes, they fixed things that we wanted out of Modern Warfare 2019. Yes, they did things that we needed. Yes, they added a content. For the love of God, we had base content in the game. Like, oh my goodness, who could have ever imagined? Yeah, that's all great. But the game just feels unloved. Like it has no passion. Like the developers didn't really care about what they were doing. They were just taking a previous game and reworking it to, make people happy. And that's fun and all, but, put yourself in their shoes. Seriously, if you are a passionate game designer, right? You want to put together games. You want to pour your heart into stuff. It's not very fun to be told to take a previous project and just, change a few things here and there to make the community happy. Are you going to be pouring your heart into that? No, you're just going to be copy and pasting probably everything from one game to the other. You're not going to care. And trust me, people, the community out there, we feel when the developers don't care, and that is what this situation is going to turn into. Guys, be realistic here. Modern Warfare 3 was going to be DLC, okay? Modern Warfare 2, 2022, was supposed to be a 2-year cycle game. In 2023, we're supposed to get DLC for Modern Warfare 2, along with all the Modern Warfare 2 maps. Not anymore, They turned this DLC game into a full-fledged out project. These guys have months to turn a DLC campaign into a whole-fledged out game. Okay? The crunch time is going to be absurd. And like I said, yeah, it's going to be playable. You're going to be able to hop in and you can select the game that you want to play. You can play matches, but don't expect to feel any passion or love behind this title. And I guarantee you, what? I'm willing to put money on this, that Modern Warfare 3 is going to have a stupid amount of content at launch. And if it does, that further proves my point that Sledgehammer is only making placeholder games right now. Because why is it that both Sledgehammer projects can get a ridiculous amount of base content, yet every other development team like Treyarch and Infinity Ward, who have been putting in a lot of work into their game, years of work into their game, can't even put, more than 7-8 maps out at launch for multiplayer? Something is up. And to me personally, it will prove that, once again, it's a placeholder game. And they have all the time in the world to do so. I guarantee it's going to drop with all the Modern Warfare 2 DLC maps or something of that sort. It's going to have a ton of base maps, and that is going to be their selling point. That will be their selling point. Obviously not for commercials. They're going to sell the hell out of Warzone. I mean, that's what Call of Duty always does. Everything. The Warzone is their main selling point. But when it comes to multiplayer and stuff like that, the way they're going to try to bring the community in is they're going to sell it off as they're listening to what we have to say. They're going to be, changing things around that the community been asking for in multiplayer, and there's going to be a ton of content. I am willing to put so much money on that. And then everybody's going to buy into it. Everybody's going to fall for the hype. And guess what? It's going to be the most unloved, unpassionate project out there. And I don't blame Sledgehammer Games at all. I much rather have Advanced Warfare and World War II over what they've been producing now. And it's sad to say because I didn't really care for either game, but at least those games felt unique. At least they felt like a Sledgehammer project. At least they felt like something that wasn't made by Infinity Ward or Treyarch. Vanguard, like I said, it's Modern Warfare 2019 reskinned with extra content and things the community asked for. That's all it is. It literally felt like Infinity Ward made it. It doesn't feel like a Sledgehammer project. Whereas World War II and Advanced Warfare, compared to every other Call of Duty game I've ever played, they both feel completely unique in their own way. I don't know. I'm going to leave it up to you guys in the comment section to really, come to a conclusion on this one. But I got to say, I'm a tad bit worried about all the developers working at Sledgehammer Games because I really think that they're going through some crap right now. And they're definitely not having a good time. I mean, imagine having to do this over and over and over and over again. Like, where's the fun in game design at that point? They're probably going nuts right now. But ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like. Bums, I hate it. Leave a dislike. Also, for brand new, enjoy the content, subscribe to the bell gauge button. Also, want to chat with me, this is the way to do so. I have a Twitter and Discord, both in the description. And also, want to catch me in live streams of video games over on Twitch. That's in the description as well. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. See you on the next one. Peace out.